Officers were later called in when the fire became intense and spread to other rooms. The owner of the house, who was not at the premises when the fire started, said the inferno has been devastating. Preliminary investigations by the fire service indicated the fire was caused by a faulty electrical socket which had an extension board with a deep freezer plugged into it. Bremen Fire Commander DO3 Salasi Prosper Avevo explains to Citi News.
You can realize that it started from one room where the deep freezer was located. The deep freezer, you can see the deep freezer was connected to an extension board. This is one thing that we often advise the public on because there are dangers, electrical dangers that poses risk of bringing fire. So you realize that the deep freezer in which they had most of their food items was connected to an extension board, and the socket to which that extension board was also connected to, the socket was being worked on. There were loose connections or loose contacts on that extension board because it was opened and was not well fixed. So you realize that there were sparks and the children attested to it. They discovered the fire first and drew the elderly people's attention to it. Because materials in the room or combustibles in that room were also many, the sparks triggered the fire. There were materials that easily ignited the fire and then spread into the ceiling. From the ceiling to, you can realize that there were no giblings, no gable that could, control or bring the fire under control within one room. So it had easy access through the ceiling to adjoining rooms and then spread to most parts of the rooms.
After bringing the situation under control, the fire officers had this advice for the public.
Certain electrical appliances are not supposed to be passed through extension boards. Certain electrical appliances that draw high voltages are not supposed to pass through extension boards. Typical example is deep freezer, fridge, blender, irons, microwaves, rice cookers, okay? Those particular gadgets and blenders, those gadgets do not pass through extension boards. Please, let's create, and every gadget, and because of the power they draw, there are cables that are supposed to, send these powers to them. We have 1.5 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters, 4 millimeters. Each has a gadget that can draw. So if we are not careful and then we use certain appliances that are not supposed to draw power from a low cable, we in the long run generate fires in our home.
Neighbors and friends were seen trooping to the house to sympathize with the victims.
Fire officers are continuing their sensitization and are urging the general public to be careful about some electrical appliances they use at their residential apartments. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Ashanti Region.